Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of A Literary Tasting. My name is Jessica.
My name is Annie.
And this week we're returning to the games.
Oh yeah, big time. And thank God. Well, not thank God, but...
You've been returning to the games for quite some time now.
I've been returning to the games in my heart, well, every year since I was 12. When I tell you guys, like, every single year since I saw Catching Fire in theaters, I walked out... Literally, when I tell you I read those books, like, in one sitting, and then... I don't know why it was that, like, every Christmas, but, like, I don't know, that's, like, the most joyous time of the year for me.
I need to make sure I remember.
Yeah, I said, actually, this is a time for me to, like, really remember, like, all the things that I have in my life and all the good that I have. So I was, like, and also I was, like, I love this book so much. This is also, like, my favorite time of the year.
My favorite Christmas tradition, reading The Hunger Games.
My favorite Christmas tradition is reading The Hunger Games. Make that make sense? I don't know. But literally every year from, like, the age of 12 to 18, I was doing that every single year. Someone needs to take me away, nurse.
It's funny to me that you were thinking about it and you were like, oh, I gotta get back on my grind. Reading The Hunger Games.
No, literally, like,
it
it kind of shocks me that I didn't know I had OCD until I was, like, 20 years old. Like, literally, like, I would get home and I'd be, like, stressed out, being like, when am I gonna fit in time to read Hunger Games? Like, I have to read it. Like, it's part of the tradition. Like, girl. So the thing is, like, I'm still at the restaurant. I've been at the restaurant. This is very, very important to me, and I've been waiting for this book to come out for a very, very long time. And when they announced it, I damn near shat myself, like, quaking in my boots ever since. I'm so excited. We're talking about Sunrise on the Reaping today.
Us and damn near half the planet.
Literally damn near half the planet. For those of you like me who have seen every single Joshua edit that is online, this has been a long time coming.
She watches those. I make sure to watch the blonde wig of Tom Blythe.
Like, it's so serious for me that, like, if you put on Hunger Games right now, I can say the whole movie, actually. I can quote it. Like, I can speak it to you. I've seen it that many times. I watch it every time I am home. Quite simply. Like, I was an obsessed child. Like, I was really obsessed. I just love it so much. They're good.
Yeah. I've only read the first two and then half of the third one, plus the two prequels.
Yeah.
Because as soon as 12-year-old me read that there was no more, what's it called, Everlark?
Yeah.
As soon as I read that PETA had been taken by the Capitol and there was not going to be no Everlark, I said, I hit one of those and I immediately clocked out. Forgive me, I was 12.
I mean, fair enough. Personally, like...
But then I saw Tom Blythe in that blonde wig and I was like, I must know more. Tell me more.
Yeah, and you were, like, an adult, so, like, you were like, tell me more. Yeah, also, like, for some lore about this podcast, like, seeing Songbirds and Snakes in theaters together was literally the inciting incident of this podcast coming to life, because it inspired her so much. She was like, I need to talk about it to the masses. The blonde wig.
I need to be put in a position. I need you guys to make me Tana Mojo so that way I can be put in so I can be put in a position where I'm meeting Tom Blythe and he can reject me with his own mouth. Okay? I need that. I really need that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that's how this podcast came to be. Like,
and also, I'm not a Snow apologist. I'm not a Snow empathizer. I just really fucked with that blonde wig.
She really fucks. And I think if you listen to any other episode before this, she talks about that blonde wig like every other sentence.
I'm thinking about that blonde wig all the time.
All the time. So, yeah, just to lay the groundwork of, you know, what this means to us. Yeah. So we're gonna be discussing today... We're going to be getting into so much, there's so much lore in this book that, like, when I tell you I think every single chapter I would have to stop and, like, ponder, like, so deeply. And, like, I was, like, highlighting this book like I was reading, like, 1984 or whatever the fuck people read in high school. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I was really getting in there.
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, reading Animal Farm. Like, I was in there.
One quick thing, though. I feel like we always forget to say this, and this book is so new and so important to so many people. Mm-hmm. We're about to spoil the whole damn thing.
Yes. It's going to be very spoiler heavy. We'll put that in the title as well. If you've not read this, don't watch this video.
Well, actually, please watch it, but maybe, like, on mute or something. We need the views.
Or just, you know, send it to your friends who have watched it and come back and watch it when you've finished reading the book. But, like, go read it, like, all right now tonight and then come back in, like, 4 hours when you're done. Okay? So, yeah, we're going to get into a lot of lore here. And it was feeding my soul like never before. Like, I really needed this. Like, I was on my last leg and, like, my leg grew back. But, now that I've, like, finished it, I'm on my last leg again.
Yeah.
I was like, this was really like helping me get through, and now that it's like done, I'm...
No, like, I feel like I've been so immersed in this book for the last 2 weeks. There's been drama at work, there's been drama in TV shows. I had no idea what was going on. I was very busy. I was very locked in.
Girl, like, I'm busy. I'm busy. Don't contact me. When the book came out, I got on Close Friends, and I was like, if you need something, go somewhere else. Yeah, don't need me. Call someone else. I am busy. Okay? I'll let y'all know when I'm available again. Also, just for context, like, obviously we're both wearing our little Katniss Everdeen braid.
Our cuteness Everdeen blade.
Our cuteness Everdeen braids. But I'm also, in honor of my king, Woody Harrelson, I am wearing his outfit that he wore to the Mockingjay premiere. I don't know if you can see my plaid pajama pants and shirt in honor of him. Thank you for your just complete lack of gaffe. You know, I loved it. So let's get into it. Now, trigger warnings. I mean, it's Hunger Games. It's extremely violent. Violence against minors, obviously, and a lot of death. It's the name of the game. I think everyone at this point knows what the triggers are here, but just to reiterate it, obviously, if you know if you're not aware, but that's a lot of what's going to be happening here. And fan casting. Did you do any fan casting for this?
No, because I was the thing about the Hunger Games, and I could be wrong. So okay. But I do feel like they have a real knack for like the people that are in the movies typically are not super well known. Yeah. And then, I mean, except for Woody Harrelson and like Stanley Tucci, but like the tributes, the kiddos, are typically not, like, I feel like this was Jennifer Lawrence's like big role. So I'm excited to see who they give us, because when they put Tom Blythe on my screen and Rachel Zegler, again, the world opened up for me in that moment.
Okay, to be fair, Rachel Zegler was already very famous because of her breakout role.
But that was just one.
Yeah, but
and also there was a lot of tea surrounding that.
On God. But yeah, I agree with you. Very much agree. Like, they have a knack for. I also think their casting has always just been superb every time, and I don't want to give my 2 cents where it's not needed. Like, I don't need to give my 2 cents.
They got this.
They have this.
The only thing I was picturing, of course, Josh Hutcherson in a slightly blonder wig. For Haymitch.
Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I love him.
But he's Peter Millark.
So? I love him.
Does he reincarnate as Peter Millark later?
No, they don't explain.
Gotcha. I also, obviously, like, there are so many characters who, like, are mentioned, who are in the original series, who are mentioned in this book, again, coming back to the lore of it all. And so I pictured them all as the people who play them in the movies that we see, obviously, in the original trilogy. So all those actors who play them, that's who I was picturing.
You were picturing Woody Harrelson?
Well, no, I wasn't picturing him for Haymitch, because obviously this is Haymitch, like, younger. And I don't know who they're going to cast as him in the movie that's going to be coming out soon. So I wasn't really picturing him. I mean, when they do, like, the epilogue, I was picturing him. But for, like, the main book, I wasn't. But I'm talking about, like, BD, Wirus, Mags.
Oh, have you seen the fan movie of his games?
What?
There is a fan movie on the internet somewhere. Let us know in the comments if you watched it. Hold on.
Please let me know. What the fuck? I've never heard of this.
This is, does this face mean anything to you?
Because
they're on location.
No, like, they're in the mountains of North Carolina. Like,
I too was really interested in the Hunger Games. I don't remember this at all, but I don't remember much of my childhood, so it's not surprising that I don't remember it. But what I did learn about myself was when I went through my Kindle app, and I found that I had at some point in my life read. I needed more Hunger Games so bad. I read a parody book of it.
Yeah.
It was called The Hunger But Mostly Death Games.
Yeah.
And okay, sorry to like take a detour, but there's also there's like a parody movie.
That's what I was just looking at. I watched that.
Parody comedy is the dumbest, fucking, most boring, unoriginal. Like, when you can't make your own jokes, you have to make fun of somebody else.
Yeah.
And listen, you can make a joke and make fun of somebody else.
Yeah.
People do it about Trump all the time, and I laugh regularly.
Yeah.
And same with Elon Musk. I hate you, but just. Yeah,
The Starving Games. I did in fact watch
and
this.
Mike from Pretty Little Liars was in it.
He was! Girl, why would you do that to me?
Girl, he was booked back then.
I trusted you.
Girl, he was booked back then.
I trusted you. I remember watching this and I was like, I hate watched it obviously because I was like, I hate watched it because I was sitting there like, what do you have to say in the press? Because you're not about to say anything that's going to make me believe that this is not an amazing, fantastic movie and story. Like, there's nothing bad to say. And it was, in fact, bad.
It was bad.
Sorry to that girl, but it was bad.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I read the parody comedy book.
It's like when we finish reading After, then we have to read After Zombies. You know?
Oh my god.
You read After Zombies, don't play with me.
Because I'm pretty sure you had to, like, pay for something. I definitely read at least a couple chapters. You just unlocked memory for me, though.
You had to pay. Baby, that was on Wattpad.
Well, I definitely didn't read it then. But I definitely read at least a couple chapters. I won't lie. I definitely read at least a couple.
Okay.
But I don't think I read the whole thing, no. I don't think so.
I just remember, like, Hardin pulling out a sword and suddenly there were zombies there and I was like,
that's...
For what?
The thing is, I'm not, like, into, like, fantasy, dystopian, sci-fi kind of...
Maybe I just wanted to see Hardin and Tessa go at it again. Like, I was just so thirsty for more. You know what I mean? That's the
I wonder if the zombies did the sheets thing then, too.
Moving on. Back to our fan casting. Yeah, I was just picturing the characters that we already had cast them as for, you know, the people. So, okay, BD, I was picturing Jeffrey Wright, that actor who, he was actually recently nominated for an Oscar. Okay. You know, all those people who were cast as these characters in the newer movies, just, you know, yeah. And I was picturing, like, a younger Donald Sutherland for President Snow. So, let's get into it. Like any Hunger Games book, like any novel by my queen in this series, these books are cut into 3 parts. We start with the birthday. I'm going to throw myself into a ravine. Why would you have him be born on Reaping Day? Ouch. The first line is, "Happy birthday, Haymitch." No.
Yeah.
No.
I remember actually when I first cracked this book open, I read that one page and I said, yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to this at another time.
No. Like, I opened it and then I said,
We'll do it later.
Yeah, we'll do that later. Yeah. Yep, I can't. So we find out that this is young Haymitch, he's 16 years old, and it's his 16th birthday. He wakes up and we meet his younger brother Sid and his mom, and he gets up and she's like, "Baby, you got chores to do, hop to it." And he's like, "Girl, I need to go see my babe. Like, I have a baby waiting for me to go see."
No, she's hilarious because she's like, "I know it's your 16th birthday and it's Reaping Day, but you have to fill the fucking cistern."
No, you gotta get to going and on this. And he was like,
"No, girl. Sorry.
No, girl, I need to go see my baby."
How did you pronounce her name?
His girlfriend, Lenore Dove.
Lenore? I was picturing Lenora.
Where was the A?
I put it there.
Okay, so no. Lenore Dove, which I thought was such a cute name.
I'm gonna feel real vindicated when the movie comes out and they're saying Lenora.
Why would they be saying Lenora when there's no A there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Comment below if your book had a mysterious A. And yeah, I was reading this first chapter and there's just already so much, like, backstory and lore just shoveled right into this first chapter.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of exposition happening here. She's like, I know what y'all want. I know y'all want to get in that damn arena so damn bad.
It was blowing my mind, Boots. Like, I was actually rocking back and forth, like, rolling on the floor like a tumbleweed.
Yeah, so we also find out that he's besties with Katniss's dad, and that he has, of course, a girlfriend who's Covey.
It's like...
Her name is Lenore Dove.
Lenore Dove. When he's talking about Lenore Dove, and when he's talking about Katniss's dad and everything, like, we get to know basically all of the ties. Because I think at the end of Songbirds and Snakes, it's, like, very left up to interpretation of, like, what happens to Lucy Gray. I think just even reading this first chapter, I got the impression that, like, she clearly got away from Snow. That was my impression, and I wanted to ask you what you thought.
I don't know. I was gonna ask you what you thought.
Okay, because when
I read the first book, when I read Songbirds and Snakes, I assumed she got away. That's fine. I didn't feel any sense of clarity later.
You didn't?
No. I was like, I still don't really know what's going on.
Okay.
I think I should go back and read the first 3 and, like, re-up and, like,
yeah,
probably reread all of them with, like, a clearer mind, because when I was reading Songbirds and Snakes. I'm sorry to bring it up again. We're talking about the Hunger Games. I'm gonna bring up that blonde wig a lot. I'm really sorry. So I was very distracted by the romance in Songbirds and Snakes, but now I feel like if I read it with a different mind, I might.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think because he kept being like, okay, bringing up she's Covey, bringing up the fact that she's very musical, she likes to sing, the fact that her name comes from like a poem or like a song.
No, I think Lenora is supposed to be Maud Ivory's daughter.
Okay, so there's that theory too, that like Maud Ivory is Katniss's grandmother. So that would be, and Maud Ivory was like cousins or whatever with Lucy Gray. So that's also like there's different ways to interpret it, which is why I was gonna ask you what you thought.
We need a cork board.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm about to turn into Mike's mic here, and I would need actually him to clock in and give me a video as well to watch, because I feel like he definitely has some insight that I'm missing, for sure. But I think also it was really fun to see like a glimpse of Katniss's dad, who like is not in the story like at all, obviously, because when we open with Katniss.
Do you remember in okay, y'all, the way that Hunger Games was dominating the culture in 2012?
Yep.
Do you remember that video of the girl and she's like, I'm gonna do a Hunger Games inspired makeup tutorial, and she's like, okay, we're gonna use black as the eyeshadow to represent the coal mine that her father was smashed to death in. That's all I could think about when I was reading it about the dad. I was like, damn.
The moment that they got to the forest when he's talking about when he first met his girlfriend and he's like, oh, Burdock goes off and he's like, I think I have some arrows stashed over there. I was like, oh my god, it's Katniss's dad. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was like, I'm gonna lose it. And then when they're going to the reaping on the way there and he stops and he's like, oh, there's that girl that Burdock has a crush on and she's like from a wealthy family. Burdock doesn't stand a chance. I was like, oh my god, it's Katniss's mom. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was losing it. Like, I was really like, oh, the chills.
Okay, we need to lock in.
So,
we've been talking for 20 minutes and we haven't said anything.
Sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, they go to the reaping and they have
things go awry very quickly.
Yeah, they
so
do.
Instead of Miss Cuteness Everdeen Effie, it's this old bat, sorry, named Drusilla. She's not nice. She is like, guys, it stinks here. Let's get these names reaped so we can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Also, you guys are all ugly.
Yeah.
It's bad. And in this Hunger Games, which I have a question. I guess watching that brief minute of the fan-made movie, how much did we actually know about Haymitch's games before this? Because I didn't know anything.
So there's like an excerpt from Catching Fire when they're doing their research about all the other tributes. With Haymitch, and there's, well, without Haymitch, but basically Katniss and Peeta find like old tapes of all the other tributes that like have a potential to be reaped from the games, and Haymitch is not there, and they find a tape of the 50th games, and they're like, Haymitch is not here, should we watch it? Like, this seems kind of like an invasion of his privacy, but like, shit, like, let's just watch it. And they watch it, and they're talking about it. It's not a very long excerpt, but like, they basically say like, we see that Haymitch, we see the opening, we see like, you know, a girl that goes up, and we see that it's the twin. So they mention Maisley. They mention that it is the mayor's wife. So the mayor's wife, she's the one, her daughter is like friends with Katniss in the original Hunger Games, and she's the one who ends up giving Katniss the Mockingjay pin. In this book, I think they mention it a lot that Maisley had that Mockingjay pin and she had just kind of tossed it aside, didn't give a fuck about it, right? That's how she gets it. And so in this thing, she's like, I see the twins, like one of them gets reaped, and she's like, that can make sense why the mayor's wife has like always been so like despondent and sad and depressed. Like, she's never recovered. We see Haymitch get reaped, all these things. They don't mention at all the thing that happens at the reaping, like all that stuff, because it gets cut out. They say, they kind of mention that like, what the arena looks like. They mention that
there's 48 tributes in this one.
Yeah, that there's like,
knew that.
Yeah, that there's like a double the tributes, and then they also talk about.
Don't piss me off. That pissed me off so bad. I didn't know that. I didn't know any of this when I started this book. When I read there was 48, I was like, Oh, I know you're fucking lying.
Yeah. So they do say that there's 48 tributes. So there's more.
So 2 boys and 2 girls
from each district, and then they also mention how Haymitch wins, like the way in which the last tribute passes. So all that stuff is mentioned, but all of the stuff that happens in between, like it's very clear that they like intentionally cut it out of like what is shown to the districts. Yeah.
Well, anyways, what happens on reaping day is Haymitch is reaped illegally because another person is reaped, and he's like, nah, fuck no.
He hits feet.
And I would too, frankly. Actually, I probably would kill myself before I even, like, I'm 12 years old killing myself. I'm not giving the chance of being reaped.
And the thing is, the only way to do that is to run. Because how else are you going to kill yourself? You have to start running. That's a really dark thing to say, I'm sorry, but like he starts running. He starts running and he gets shot immediately, of course. Yeah.
And his mom is, of course, beside herself. So she's trying to hug him and, you know, say goodbye to her son that's just been shot in the head. And Lenore, she pissed me off bad because she got in the middle of it, and then of course Haymitch is like, oh god damn it.
No, and the thing is that about Haymitch that it was making me really sad the whole time. So obviously we know how Haymitch ends up and how he is in the original series. He's very like angry. He's a drunk. Like he's just very like there's a lot of heaviness and sadness on him clearly. And at the start of this book, he's just like a really happy, he's like in deep love with his girlfriend, like deep love. And he only interferes with this because he's like, I need to protect her. Yeah. Like that's my girl. And his girl is a social justice warrior, and she was just trying to help that girl. Mind you, before they even come to the reaping, she gives him that necklace that he has, which is this thing on the top of the cover of the book.
Which doubles as a flint striker. Yeah. The only reason I know what a flint is because I watched Survivor. I'm being so honest.
For real. But it doubles as a flint striker, and then she writes an inscription on the back that says, I love you like all fire, which is like a Covey saying, and like they say it to each other all the time, and it's so sweet, and like he's just so in love with her that he literally puts himself in harm's way and gets hit by a peacekeeper.
I'm sorry. I was mad at her though because girl, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen.
It is reaping day.
Yeah, if it wasn't him, because obviously they're like, well, the boy's dead. Fine.
We need a boy.
Haymitch.
If it had been a girl, they would have taken her.
Yeah. Girl, I don't know what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Now's not the time.
No, it is not the time. This is a very dangerous time to be doing something like this. So Drusilla's badass comes out of nowhere, and she's like, everyone clean up and get these beasts back in line, and we're gonna redo this shit. No, she is awful, and when I catch her, you better hide. Start running.
And Plutarch is there. He was pissing me off bad a little bit too. He's like, let's get a shot of the family being sad. Girl. Yeah. Not now.
I was kind of interested in that whole dynamic too.
I bet he's gonna be hot. Well, they cast for him, I bet it's gonna be so hot.
Well, let's hope. I can only hope, right? Yeah, it was kind of shocking because I was like, obviously in the original movies, he's on the right side of history. Of herstory, sorry. So what's he playing at here? Is he is he gonna have some kind of change?
Yeah, and he's sitting there with the camera being like, so why do y'all let the Hunger Games happen? Anyways, I'm gonna go back to my mansion.
He's like, hey, Mitch's mother, can you act a little bit more sad? Run it again. Ugh. And Haymitch is sitting here like, can you not? 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 So yeah, they get taken swiftly to the trains. It's awful.
Because Drusilla is like, no, you guys don't get a goodbye. You guys stink like ass. You guys stink like ass, and you guys caused a scene. So
it's literally awful.
God forbid I don't want to go fight to kill 48 other people. Wait, 47 math. God forbid I don't want to watch 47 people die in an arena. And that's best case scenario. Literally. Worst case scenario, I get murdered.
Right.
On live television.
Right. Sorry. And she's like,
girl, I'm running. I'm not doing that.
No goodbyes for you. Mind you, in that moment, we do see that Plutarch is kind of helping him out because they are like, she goes, go ahead and shoot Lenore to one of the peacekeepers. And Plutarch's like, wait, maybe we can take some videos of her for the live footage. And she's like, okay. So he kind of spares Lenore's life there. Clearly, we're like, okay, maybe he's not all bad. I don't know. Maybe he just has a heart. We don't know yet. But as they're leaving on the train...
He's on thin ice. That's all I know.
Yeah. After leaving on the train, he looks out the window and sees Lenore like standing on a field, like on a mountain, and she's like screaming into the heavens and crying, and like it's like raining around her, and like my heart was shattering. It was so sad. Oh my god. Anyway.
Well, they get to the capital. Well, we do learn a little on the train. We do learn a little bit about the rest of the tributes. Luella, Maisie, and Wyatt is the other boy. Mm-hmm. Maisie, she don't gaff. The second she got on that train, she beats. No, she doesn't. She slaps Drusilla and calls her an old ugly bat.
No, because she's like, she don't gaff. She was like, well, first of all, she's a baddie. She's a baddie. She knows she's a 10. And she's like, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out swinging, and I'm gonna keep my head held high.
That and, girl, what are you gonna do to me?
No, what? She says that to her. She's like, I don't have anything to lose, girl.
Yeah.
Like, you already reaped me. That's the worst thing that can possibly happen to me.
Yeah,
it's
you better stay away from me is all I'm telling you.
No, she's like, it's already happened. You've done the worst. Now what? So, we meet her, and she's the mayor's daughter, and she has a tweensy who's, you know, and she's she's besties with Katniss's mom. And then we have Wyatt, who is just another kid who lives in District 12.
But something that's important to him is that he considers himself an odds maker, so I guess his dad, like, runs, like, a betting place.
He runs, like, a betting ring that basically places bets on, like, the kids who are in the Hunger Games, and Haymitch thinks this is absolutely disgusting, which it is.
Haymitch comes for his neck bad.
Haymitch comes for him so boots bad.
Girl, I've already got my comeuppance. I'm already in the Hunger Games. Well, please don't nag on me. Don't bag on me, too. Come on.
Okay, he kind of deserved the one hitter. He deserved the one punch for that. Come on, like... But then after a while, Haymitch is like, okay, I can chill a little bit. Which is, yes, he can. Like, he is also here. So, he got his comeuppance. But, yeah, he's an odds maker for the Hunger Games. Like, do you hate everyone? Like, goddamn, this sucks. And then Luella, unfortunately, is literally his next door neighbor who he grew up with. She's 13 years old.
Yeah, a little baby child.
And a little girl, and who is, like, so spunky and adorable, and, like, literally his, like, one of his closest people that he knows in his life. Like, a sister to him. Also, he calls her sweetheart, which is ding 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 where he gets that from.
I just remembered Coin in the final Hunger Games. Not funny.
Oh, okay.
She was so cunty though with her bob.
Bye.
I loved her. Well, I didn't love her, but I loved her cunty bob. I love that actress.
I do love that. I love Julianne Moore. She's a great actress. But anyway, we do see that he calls her sweetheart, and there's like a whole backstory to it, but that's, you know, he calls Katniss sweetheart in the original books, so that's where he gets that from. So Lord Counter number 500,000. Yeah, and it's really sad that he's like, well, I'm gonna try to protect her with my life, but it's like, even if I do my best, you know,
we're probably both gonna die.
They're probably both gonna ship us back in a coffin. So they end up heading back to, also mind you, like, there's never been another District 12 winner since Lucy Gray, so there's like nobody here to be their mentor. There's no one here to help them. They only have the bat, and they have Plutarch basically, who is like just in and out here and there to like film shit, so they're like kind of flying off the seat of their pants, don't have anything. They get there immediately, and they start seeing all the other tributes come in, and they're like, why the fuck are the careers like mountain-sized? Like, they look like they've been training for this their whole lives, and they have.
No, they're built like doors.
They're built like doors, like muscled up, like Johnny Bravo. Like, they're here, and they're ferocious. Like, what the fuck? There's one named Panache?
I was picturing Panache, but I mean...
Whatever. He is huge, and he is scary.
Yeah, I was definitely picturing the one very strong guy from Catching Fire.
Yeah.
I think he's like 1 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's there with his blonde sister.
Yes. So they get there. They're immediately sent to like a gymnasium, which is like this is like the first time they have a tribute center, I think, and they're like sent into showers to get disinfect. Or
yeah,
they
like hose them down with like a chemical shower, and then make them dress in paper, like little, which is just another way to dehumanize them.
Yeah, they're basically like trying to get the they spray them with insecticide basically, and they're like, we gotta cut down your claws, and they're like, it's just awful the way they treat them, shave them, and they're all like itchy, and it's just terrible.
They do have like a makeup artist and a hairstylist. They have Vitus and Proserpina, who I assuredly thought that name was Prosperina.
So did I. What? was reading that wrong.
I saw it on TikTok, and somebody said, I definitely thought that was Proserpina. And I was like, well, yeah, that's because what her name is. Sure enough, it's not.
Oh.
It's sure not. It's Proserpina.
Ooh.
For sure.
Oopsies.
Assuredly.
Okay, well.
Well, you know, I also thought, up until 2 years ago, I thought Coriolanus was Cornelius. So, that's just not close at all.
No. Well, it's close. It's close. Don't do yourself like that. I would see how you would get there.
I know I'm not the only one that.
No, yeah, I would see how you would get there. But
anyways, they're there and they're like, oh my god, we're gonna get a bad grade because these fuck ass kids. Can you guys?
He's like, wait, hold on. Pause.
Where's the stylist?
Not even where's the stylist. Y'all are doing this as a school assignment?
That's true.
Y'all are doing this as a school assignment? And they're like, yeah. But they said if we get a good grade this year, they'll give us a better district next year. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're joking. And they're also sitting here complaining.
No, like, if I'm in the Hunger Games, I'm actually gonna get killed before I go in the arena because I'm going to ruin the lives of everybody around me.
No, and that's why I'm like, Maisley's a baddie and she knows she's a 10. Like, she's sitting here being like, I am going to ruin the lives of everyone around me because I've already been reaped. Mm-hmm. There is nothing y'all can do to me now that is going to make shit any worse for me. Mm-hmm. Like, dead ass.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't I slap you? Mm-hmm. Why should I not slap the shit out of you and tell you how ugly you look every single day? You do.
She's like, good morning, Drusilla. I hate your outfit.
No, dead ass. Your hair looks like shit.
I love that clip of Nicki Minaj where she's like, I hate your hair and makeup today.
Yeah.
That's her.
That is her energy to a T. Yeah. And they're also talking about the fact that the stylist that they give District 12 is like the worst person alive. And
he fucking shows up and he's like, I have my reusable miners outfits. Everybody put on your reusable miners outfit.
Yeah, because apparently he's never ever gaffed about the District 12 tributes, and every time someone for the tributes parade, they're getting ready for that. And you know, this is the time that they like show out in their outfits. You know, they give them something
girl in the fire
cute.
Dress. We all know it.
The girl on fire. Like, this is that moment. Obviously, clearly, after this.
Also, it's crazy they just said fuck PETA because PETA was on fire too.
They really did, didn't they? No, I thought about that too. They said girl on fire and that guy, and he's just there.
We've all seen the photos. She looks gorgeous, and he's there.
He's there. Yeah. Clearly after this 50th Hunger Games, they still keep bringing the same stylist until Cinna arrives because they don't have anything to give them until the girl on fire situation. This man keeps reusing the same miner's outfit because he don't gaff about them.
Haymitch is literally like, it stinks.
No, he's like, it's stinky in here, and he's like, yes, queen, I've been using them for 55 years and I'm gonna keep using them. Like, put that on.
And they're like, well, fuck, we have no other choice because they burned our fucking clothes.
Right. They've burned all the clothes they came in, and also they've been waiting for him for 45 minutes, so they're like, we literally don't have a choice. Get in the van. They show up late to the tribute parade. Like, they get there and they're trying to strap in.
And things continue to go awry because their fucking horses can't get it together.
Yeah, their horses are like, also their carriage that their horses are pulling them in
bad.
Looks like shit. Like,
just bad luck over and over.
Not even just bad luck, they just get the worst pick of the litter because no one cares about District 12 and treats them like shit. And like, and so everyone else has like beautiful costumes and like has a beautiful carriage and has well-mannered horses, and meantime, these kids have like the worst of the worst. And so they get on their carriage, and him and Luella are like holding hands and like really trying to like hold each other to make sure they don't fall. And as they're going out, they're like, okay, like, we're just trying to watch. And he's looking around like, what is wrong with these fucking Capitol people?
Yeah, in the stands, he's like, they're all drunk as fuck and we're literally parading to our death.
No, like, he's like, these people are literally off the Hennessy and think this is funny and like are pointing and laughing and whatever. And like, this is, this is literally like a death march that they're putting us through right now. Like, this is awful. And then something, I can't remember what happened here. Something happens and
yeah,
the
like
horses...
the chariots just kind of collide for some reason, probably because the horses are being fuck-ass.
Yeah, the horses get spooked or something and they get off track.
And Luella is
thrown from the carriage, and Haymitch comes to and realizes that Luella has like basically passed on impact.
And Maisley's like, yeah, she's already dead, but don't let them make it hard on them.
Yeah.
Like she said on the train, ruin their lives at every turn.
Yeah.
And so he takes her he rides in District 1's chariot.
He like
all the way up to Snow's mansion and basically like bows and gestures towards Luella and bows. And Snow's like, oh.
He's standing like this.
Yeah. Because he's not showing his gaff, but he gaff.
He gaff a lot. Because Haymitch, he's like, wait. Not you in this reusable miner's outfit. Showing me up right now. Especially after because he stole the district.
Especially because you know he's still at Sally's Weekly.
Right.
He's still at Sally's Weekly. He's filling in those roots, girl. He's got the purple shampoo and everything.
Yeah. Everything.
And then he's in this stinky miner's outfit and he's getting the attention.
Especially because also he is still at the restaurant. Like every single night when he is like cutting into his really bland chicken, he's thinking about Lucy Gray. You know what I mean? Like he is sitting there and he's like,
God, I hate that fucking bitch.
Oh, I fucking hate that bitch. So he's sitting here like, not this District 12
I hate
tribute.
These fucking District 12 bitches.
Yeah, and not this District 12 tribute of all of these people, of all these 48 kids. Mm-hmm. He's the one who's taking a stand right now. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah. He also kind of makes an enemy out of the District 1 careers because when he took that carriage from them, he kind of like...
They didn't get to finish their little parade.
Yeah.
And the parade is important because sponsors.
Yeah, exactly. And also he kind of like outmaneuvered them to get it and kind of tricked them out of...
He's like...
So yeah, they're like, Panache did not like that move. He said, Panache, what a like...
I want to kill Panache with a gun. I don't like...
A gun?
I don't like Panache.
What up?
I don't like Panache.
Panache is such a... I can't say the word, but... name.
Yeah.
Like, Panache. Oh, love it.
But I have to assume it's Panache because it's spelled the same way as ganache. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, right?
I have to assume.
Let's Google it. Hold on.
I have to assume it's Panache.
What exactly is ganache? Is the first search on Google.
What exactly is ganache? Lord.
Typing that into Google like it's a human being.
What exactly is ganache? Okay. But yeah, I mean, obviously that moment is really, really hard for Haymitch because like this is his like one piece of home for real from
He also feels like he failed. He was like, I was supposed to protect her and she immediately died.
Yeah, we've been here for only a couple hours.
And she immediately died.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get a chance to breathe because Amper comes up to him and he's like, yo, fuck these careers. Do you want to join our alliance? And Haymitch is like,
wait, first,
he spits on a peacekeeper.
Well, yes.
Amper approaches him and is like, well, join our alliance because fuck Ganache and the other ones.
Right.
And Haymitch is like,
well,
Haymitch is like, wait.
Hold on. Babe.
And then he's like, I'll get back to you on that.
Hold on, baby. Just give me a second, okay? He goes to talk to his...
It's such a horrible moment to come up to him and be like, join our alliance. I hate Panache.
No, literally, he's like, you gotta give me a second. You have to give me a second.
He's like putting Loella down on the floor.
Literally like crying, like putting her to rest, like closing her eyes.
President Snow is up there with his fucking bleached hair.
Right, like looking super, super like pissed and awful. And he's like, this is the time you chose.
Well, to be fair, Amper is 10.
I know. He's 12, but yeah.
Oh.
He can't be 10 at the Hunger Games.
Well.
Regardless, he's very young. He's very, like one of the youngest people there.
Nobody is worse than a 12-year-old, a 17-year-old, or an 18-year-old, I think.
Yeah, or like a 25-year-old man.
One 25-year-old man in particular.
But they get back to like their apartment. This is like one of the first times I think they have like a tribute center where like they have apartments for the tributes to stay in. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? And the peacekeeper's like, you all better enjoy this because we used to keep y'all in like a fucking farm, okay?
Can you shut the fuck up? Like, if you're gonna be annoying, just don't fucking talk.
You could have just walked away.
Girl.
You could have just walked away.
Also, what are you? Oh, who is you?
Yeah.
You're a peacekeeper.
Right.
Girl, they hate you too.
Right.
For God's sakes.
Not too much before Maisie turns around and beats your ass too. Like, she will do it. She will. And so that night they meet the people that get assigned to be their mentors because they just get assigned random extra winners because obviously they don't have mentors from District 12 because where the hell is Lucy Gray?
We don't talk. I feel like I don't see people talking about this enough either. Being a mentor must be
awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
There's no winning the Hunger Games.
After the events of this book, I can't imagine what Haymitch goes through every year. Mm-hmm. Of course, when Katniss and Peeta, of course when Katniss and Peeta show up, he's like, I don't want to fucking do this at all. Yeah. So yeah, they get there, and lo and behold, their mentors are Mags. If you remember, Mags is the sweet older lady who is Phoenix District 4 other tribute from Catching Fire. My queen, my Shayla. Do you remember in Catching Fire?
Well, I just realized, so fuck the rules of the Hunger Games too for that one as well, because isn't the rules they're 12 to 18?
That was because it was a quarter quell, and they were
so just fuck the rules?
The quarter quells always fuck the rules. They're not supposed to have 48 tributes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's just fuck the rules then.
Every quarter quell, it's fuck the rules.
It sounds like for everything, it's fuck the rules.
Well, yeah. I mean, they can do whatever the fuck they want for the capital, so it's fuck the rules. But every quarter quell,
it's not funny.
No, it's not. The 75th Hunger Games we're reaping from the existing pool of winners.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I never considered, it was children, now suddenly Mags is here.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not going to be many people who are inside the age limit still, so that wouldn't make sense. And in addition to Mags, we have Wyrus, who is in Catching Fire. She is the tribute who is reaped with Beatty. She's the one who figures out the clock system in the arena, and who is unfortunately killed by District 1 tribute.
Yeah, and we find out she won her games by basically outsmarting the Capitol because her arena was full of mirrors.
Nightmare.
Excuse me?
Nightmare.
And so she found basically a blind spot in the arena, and they couldn't even get her out.
They couldn't figure out how to get to her at all. Like the Capitol couldn't even find her. Yeah, she had to come out and be
just sat there.
Yeah. When they came to pick her up, she was like, I have to go to y'all since y'all can't fucking find me, idiots. Wow. So, yeah, my Shayla, my sweetness, she couldn't, she didn't even have to do anything, but she had to sit there and watch the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But it was really interesting to, see these characters, at this time way before, the events of the original series. And so they're the mentors for these kids.
Well, and, sorry, one more thing about Catching Fire. Because I saw somebody talking about it must have hurt Haymitch's feelings when they were calling them nuts and bolts. Why are y'all judging how people cope with the Hunger Games?
No, calling them nuts and bolts.
Girl, yeah, no, and frankly, if I'm an alcoholic now, I don't want to know what I would be if I was post-Hunger Games. No, girl, I'm having a mimosa breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And snack time.
Babe. And then not even just post-Hunger Games. I would assuredly be, an alcoholic post-Hunger Games and after everything that happens to him specifically. Mm-hmm. But then making me come out every single year to get to know these kids through it and then basically watch them die every single year.
Yeah, girl, I'm going insane.
And then also have to hear everyone call these people who have helped me, these people who have been with me, nuts and bolts.
A breakup with my 19-year-old boyfriend was enough to make me want to live in his walls.
Right.
I don't want to know what would happen to me if I was in the Hunger Games.
Right. Don't do too much on nuts and bolts, okay?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to see it that way. And also interesting to see Haymitch having these relationships with these people because I feel like we didn't really see him interact with them that much or have any relationship with them.
That's what I was thinking the whole time I was reading. I was like, I wonder what it was like for Plutarch. I'm saying that name wrong, sorry.
Plutarch.
I'm going to say it wrong. I wonder what it was like to watch him, grow up and just, know that you guys are kind of on the same team, but not really.
Yeah.
And, just, it must be interesting.
Yeah. It's also, very interesting, too, because it's, watching, I feel like when I watch Catching Fire the next time, probably tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna be watching it under a very different lens and be like, Haymitch is definitely watching all this with a perspective that is so different than what I thought, because he has relationships with these people, but he's secluded himself to a point because he's I cannot care anymore. I cannot care.
No, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is why are we judging how they cope?
Right.
But
yeah,
whatever.
Anyway.
I mean, they are also teenagers, to be fair.
Yeah.
Who also just went through something traumatic, so.
Right.
I digress.
Yeah. So anyway, they go back to training and again, Ampert.
What's his name?
Ampert comes.
No,
I don't know.
Amp is electricity.
Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't get there.
Well, let's actually make sure.
An amp is a sound system, but I see how you're getting there.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, when you...
Yeah.
No, it's like how many... You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just not go there.
We're gonna get a man in our comments like, you stupid girl, don't know about electricity.
Please comment a hateful comment. We need comments.
No, I don't want hateful comments.
Well, anyways, they go to training, and of course Beatty is there. And Beatty is like, well...
not of course, it's Ampert's dad. Ugh.
I was gonna get there.
Yeah.
I said of course because he's like, of course I'm fucking here, and of course Ampert is fucking here, because, bitch, I outsmarted them in my arena, and I made their lives fucking miserable, and now they're here to punish me.
Which is...
Now I'm here.
Awful.
Now I'm here and have to watch Ampert train just to go die.
Yeah. That was another point where I said, okay.
And he's honest about it.
Yeah.
Haymitch comes up to him and he says, I'm Beatty. My son is Ampert. I'm here to be punished. Like, immediately.
No, like
immediately.
Immediately. He's like, I know what I'm here for. I know what's gonna happen. This shit fucking sucks.
So let's drown the arena. Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. I mean, he kind of hears because through conversation with, I mean, if you know from the Catching Fire, Wyrus and Beatty have a very close relationship. We find out here that Beatty was Wyrus' mentor, and it seems like they kind of have like a, I don't know if they have like a romantic relationship of sorts in Catching Fire, but it seems like they do. They have a companionship. Yeah. And so when she's mentoring the kids, Wyrus asks them and Mags asks them what do you want out of this experience? Like, what do you want to have for yourself at the very least? And he basically says something along the lines of I want to make them realize what they're doing to us. You know, I want them to see that it's been enough time to pay for what happened 50 years ago. This has to stop. Because of that, I guess Wyrus tells Beatty. Beatty's like, I have this plan to, fuck up the arena and drown it. Do you want to help me? And Haymitch is like, I can get down. And so they kind of start conspiring about this.
Right. He also shows him how to make a light bulb out of a potato.
A battery.
Right.
Amp. And
no, amp is a unit of measurement.
No, it is.
I agree with you. Is the unit of electric current in the international system of units. International system of units? What? Anyways, going back to so Haymitch takes all this information and he's like, okay, I'm gonna sleep on it.
Yeah.
Let me sleep on it though.
Yeah.
But while all of this is happening, while Haymitch is talking to Beatty and Ampert and trying to forge his alliances, Maisley's like, you're doing it all wrong. You're being an idiot. Do something for them. Make them like you. And so she goes around and basically makes them all little necklaces, which I thought was cute.
Yeah, she helps them make their
tokens
from their districts, which is really cute. Also, try to have in the topics of having alliances, Haymitch and starts talking to Maisley and Wyatt about so are we gonna team up or we're not gonna team up? He says Ampert came up to me and said that they have a anti-career thing going on. If you guys want to join in with us or with me to get you can come with us to do it. We're all kind of starting to band together. So they're like, okay, period. I think that's period. So they all kind of join into this alliance that Ampert's, putting together.
I'm not sure I would join an alliance.
I don't think I would either.
I don't I mean,
it would be too sad.
Obviously, the careers, really makes no sense and, it's so outlandish that that's, the point. I don't think I could even...
No.
No.
It would be too sad to me because, one, now I'm creating a bond with people that I'd have to inevitably turn against.
Yeah.
And also,
what's best case? We both make it to the very end and then I have to kill you?
No, I can't do that.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I have to go it alone. I can't.
Yeah.
No.
But after training that day, all of these events happen. Plutarch is like, Bessie, come with me. We're going to my apartment. Snow wants to talk to you. Huh?
No thank you.
So, Snow is sick as boots. And he's like, Haymitch, go get me some damn milk out of the fridge. It's gonna fix my sickness. Haymitch goes to the fridge and downs it immediately.
He literally drinks
like a cartoon. Like when a cartoon, yeah, and the liquid just goes straight down.
Yeah. He was like, there's not a chance in hell I'm giving you this milk.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm gonna survive these poison oysters, but the parade master sure didn't. That sucks for him, doesn't it?
And he's like, oh. Oh.
And he's like, wait, why am I here?
He says, I'm not getting it. What am I doing here? Don't get it.
And Snow is like, that's a cute necklace, babe. And can I see it? And so Haymitch hands it over, and he sees on the back LD, the initials, and he goes, okay, what's her name, babe?
What's her name?
And he's like,
and he starts being like, so it must be a color, but the way they always have their songs, da da da. And Haymitch is like, hold on.
Yeah.
What do you know about the Covey?
Haymitch is like, what do you know about the Covey? And he's like, well, I know that your girl, it seems like she sure loves you, but she doesn't include you in her plans when she talks about the future. Bitch, what was your plan with Lucy Gray? Because your plan was to bring her back to the Capitol where she was forced to fight for her fucking life in Arena, and all of your classmates were betting on her and making fun of her, and all of the people in the Capitol were betting on her and making fun of her, and watching her sing and making her dance like a fucking monkey.
Right.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Girl, shut up.
Yeah. Not too fucking much. Not too fucking much.
I wish Haymitch would have known that detail, somebody
so
needs to
bad.
have said that to him so bad.
Oh, I wish someone were around that knew. You know what I mean? Because he's sitting here like, what the fuck do you know about the Covey? But in his head, he's like, I know so much about the damn Covey. God damn, I know so much about the damn Covey.
He's like, Lucy Gray literally broke my heart. On what planet?
Oh my god.
You tried to shoot her.
Literally, like, men will get their feelings hurt one time when they're 13 years old and, like, will never get over it. Oh my god. Ugh. Anyway, he basically is like, in all this, in all his cryptic, you know, his cryptic little sentences, he says, like, not too much, watch your back, to Haymitch. And Haymitch is like, okay. I'm sorry. He's like, my fault. I'm so sorry for that. Like, my fault. That's my biggest bad. And Plutarch comes in and he's like, where the fuck is the milk? And Haymitch is like, and Plutarch clearly is like, this bitch drank it. Oh my god. So he's like, you know what? We're gonna pack it up. Haymitch, we're going home. Like, let's go.
But something even worse happens.
On the way out the door.
No way.
Snow is like, oh, as you're leaving, since you're heading back to the apartment,
I've got a little gift for you, babe.
Yeah, I have a gift. Luella, come on in and join Snow on your way back to the apartment. In walks this little girl who...
The line in the book... No, Haymitch literally says, I'm looking at Luella McCoy. And then he's like, hold on.
But that's not Luella
Who's that?
McCoy. But who is that?
Who's that?
He turns around and he says, that's not Luella.
And Snow goes, no. But you're gonna pretend she is.
Yeah. He doesn't even try to act like... He's like, no, but you're gonna say that it is. And the little girl... This part of the book, like, again, I had to close it and walk away because I actually started to tear up. This was devastating.
Well, and Haymitch is like, okay, wait, start over.
Yeah.
And Plutarch is like, yeah, she's probably just somebody that they've tortured and are controlling her.
Yeah.
Tortured to the point where she doesn't even know what her own name is anymore.
She's probably the child of a traitor, capital or district, and...
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. They've orchestrated her features to make her look like Luella, because they obviously are not going to tell anyone what happened at the district parade. And so now this is Luella. And he's like, all right, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And this girl has clearly been through so much. She is like not in her right mind. She keeps repeating the same sentence and she can't say anything but, my name is Luella McCoy and I'm from District 12. She can't say anything else. And it's just like completely awful. Like, it made my skin crawl to read that, genuinely. And it's just awful for him. And he has to bring her back to the apartment and everyone's like, oh my god. And he has to be like, it's not Luella, y'all. It's not Luella. And they're all sitting there like, wait, what? Sit her down and she starts eating like she hasn't seen food in years, which she probably hasn't. And she sees a roll from District 11 and starts to like freak out. And they're like, Mags realizes and she's like, oh, sweet baby, you're from District 11. We're gonna go put you down for a little nap. Like, this, it's just like heartbreaking to see the entire thing. And And they also kind of figure out that they think she has like an implant in her ear where they're like torturing her, feeding her things to say. They're feeding her things to say. You can hear everything that's going on. They're using it to control her. And they're like, okay, so we have to be careful what we say around her, but we can also use it to control her. So keep that in mind. Now, that night as well, BD comes in to the apartment and he manages to get in there with the help of Wirus, and he starts to give Haymitch some more information about their plans to like kind of fuck up the arena, basically saying that, you know, Ampert is in on it and they're going to use this kind of like bomb they fashioned into the tokens that they had given out to some of the District 9 tributes, like these sunflower necklaces they had, and they're gonna use it to go into like these mutt portals, go down there's a huge water tank, and Haymitch is like, you're throwing so much information at me, dude. Like, what? And he's
that's
like...
I was gonna say, that's like something that I love about like the Hunger Games books that I feel like is not like typical of like when you think like, I always think of like the big three as like Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, and this. And like something that really differs is that nobody in the Hunger Games wants to be a hero. Like even Haymitch is like, I feel like it's the right thing to do, so I guess I'll do it. But more than anything, he wants to protect the people around him. Versus like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, they're like, yeah, I want to be a hero.
Harry Potter loves to be the chosen one. Ooh, he loves it. No, and he's like, I just want to like make sure that Luella gets home to her family, at least not... I want to make sure that my family doesn't watch something torturous happen to me or to Luella. You know, like, he doesn't want to do all this shit. So he's like, you're throwing so much info at me right now. But BD's like, okay, but we'll talk about it again. Ampert knows the plan. And Haymitch is like, this feels really dangerous. Like, are you sure he needs to be involved? And he's like, listen, they're going to kill him regardless. And I know that. Like,
this is giving that tweet where it's like, this is our most dangerous mission yet. Bring in the 13-year-old.
No, like,
that's what this is giving.
It's so sad.
Like, I would never be able... There's absolutely no way in hell that I'd be able to revolt in the middle of the Hunger Games. I would absolutely just be, like, beside myself with grief and pain.
No, this is actually such a brave thing for them to be trying to implement this plan in the middle of the Hunger Games. Like, on top of everything else that's going on, you're trying to purposefully break down the arena.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't do that. I can't do simple addition right now.
And the 12-year-old being brave enough to try it, like, that is... Oh my god. They have their, like, individual moments in front of the game makers.
Assessments.
Yeah, in front of the game makers, basically, to, like, show their special skills in order to get their rating on a scale of 1 to 12 about, like, how good they might be in the games. And
Haymitch comes in, he does nothing. In fact, he gets in there and clowns on them.
No, he gets in there and he's like, I hate y'all.
He gets in there and says, and one of the game makers asks him, like, are you willing to kill somebody? And he's like, well, why not? You are. Ooh.
Did I just clock your tea or what? No, literally.
And they hate it and they give him a 1.
Literally, they're like, fuck you. And they give him a 1. And
then in the next chapter, he's like, ain't nobody in the history of the Hunger Games has ever gotten a 1. Most of the time, they give them at least a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
A 1 is, like, shocking.
Unheard of. Literally, he's like, I'm so gagged. Wow.
Even he's gagged.
No, he's like, what?
Girl, you said it, girl.
Yeah, and, like, Wyatt and Maisley are like, what did you do in there? And he's like, I don't know. Now, oh, yes. And so then they are trying to get ready for their interviews now with Caesar Flickerman. Play the trumpet music.
That is so good, yeah.
That song.
Yeah, actually don't break. That's something. The music and... Camera's about to die.
I know.
Music in the Hunger Games is something that actually can't be brought up to me because I've been talking about it for so long.
No, like, we can't get into it.
The scores are so good.
So good. As they're getting ready for their interviews, obviously, they have Drusilla, well, not obviously, but they have Drusilla playing Caesar, and Mags and Wirus kind of helping coach them into, like, how they should play their character, or, like, their character, quote unquote, but, like, how they should play the audience to help get sponsors and stuff. And for Haymitch, they basically decide that he should try and kind of play, like, the rascal, quote unquote, like, kind of like a bad boy, don't gaff about anything, except winning angle. Especially following the tribute parade where he, like, spat on one of the
Peacekeepers.
Yeah, peacekeepers. They're like, maybe play that up. Obviously, don't talk about anything that could get you in trouble or be seen as, like, sedition or rebellion, but, you know, let's try and keep that angle working because some people like that kind of like bad boy thing, you know? He's like, ugh, Jesus Christ. Clearly, like, he's a very sweet, soft-hearted person, and everything in his mind, he's like, I don't want my Lenore Dove to think that I'm a bad, like, he's always in here like, dang, I don't want people to think, I don't want Sid to be at home and think of me badly, like, my Shayla. Yeah. And so he's like, he's like in his head trying to work out what to do. Mind you, they're sitting here like, we don't have shit to put these bitches in because, again, their stylist doesn't show up. And so the two bitches who have the school project are like,
they're sitting there and they're bitching and moaning and whining.
No, like,
and it's so funny. Maisley's like,
yeah, how awful for you.
Maisley spares them though.
No, she
could have said worse.
Yeah, she was like, this sucks for you so bad, huh? But then the girl, Penelope,
Proserpina,
she's like, I'm gonna call my sister. Turns out the sister is Effie Trinket.
I was so excited.
I was so boots excited to see Effie Trinket walk in the door.
And she slays the boots.
Of course she does. She's like, not to worry, you guys, I'm here to save the day. And she dresses them down. And Drusilla walks in and she's like, you did this? And she's like, we're gonna get a backstage pass. Like, period. And so clearly this is how she becomes the District 12 escort. The connection, you know? But
I enjoyed the connection.
I enjoyed it too. I was like, oh, I love to see how this came to be. But so they get to the interviews and you kind of see Caesar go through conversations with all the kids. At the beginning, they also, because there's so many kids to have interviews with this year, they have kind of intermissions where they will like talk about like previous Hunger Games lore and stuff like that for like the audience's sake, which is like, the way y'all are treating this like a fucking reality TV show is so insane. Like, as if we're doing like, you know, Wicked tour and we're talking about like the lore of Wizard of Oz, you know, like this is insane. Like, what the fuck? So they're talking, we get a lot of backstory about Hunger Games, like of the past and like how things came to be, which is really interesting if you read it, to see about like how things were previous to this quarter quell, in between the time of Lucy Gray and now. But basically they have the alliance between all of like the kind of underdogs has a really good showing at the interviews because these are kind of like dogs on panache and all the careers kind of look like stupid meatheads. Yeah. And it kind of gives them a bad look, but then Ampert kind of goes up there and he like talks up his new alliance and he's like,
who they're calling the newcomers, by
the newcomers, which is such a cute little name that they came up for themselves. And like they kind of talk about how they have more numbers in them and they have smarts and they have like all these other resources they can use to their advantage. And so they have like a really good showing at the interviews, which is really nice. By the time they get to 12, Caesar's kind of like over talking about this, so he's like kind of gives them opportunity to talk about themselves more, which is kind of nice for them. And by the time they get to Haymitch as well, like he kind of plays up his bad boy
He
thing.
winks at a girl off camera. He's like, I'm a bootlegger. I make white liquor for the peacekeepers at home. Ooh.
Okay, we didn't mention that at the beginning, but he is also like, he makes alcohol like illegally and sells it at the Hob. And he's like, I don't drink though.
Upsetting.
It's so upsetting to read that. He's like, I do not drink.
I kind of want to drink now.
Right. Seriously. Reading this made me want to drink. Like, seriously. But he heads off stage and they're all like, you ate, like, so good. Chewed the house boots.
And Plutarch is like, hey, bestie. I have something for you.
Yeah.
And he gets on the phone.
And he's like, what?
It's fucking Lenore Dove. And she's like, they arrested me for my somber vibes in the town square. I was putting out somber vibes in the town square and they arrested me.
No, and he's like, girl.
She was in the town square singing because she was sad.
I know.
And the peacekeepers were like, the vibe is too somber. Arrest her.
No, the peacekeepers were like, pack it up, girl. Are you kidding?
I mean, to be fair, if I was a peacekeeper, I'd be like, well, it's kind of your fault he's there, so.
God damn. I mean, the thing is, the somber songs that she was singing were like The Hanging Tree and like all the other very somber songs. We know how
Snow feels about that song.
Yeah, they're also all the songs that were like written and performed by Lucy Gray. Like they're all her very like rebellion heavy themed songs. And so she was singing these in the town square and she was like, people came and joined me. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not a good look, so they came and arrested me. And
But she's like, have no fear. The somber vibes are past. Yeah. So I'm going to be released tomorrow.
Yeah, and he's like, thank God. And so they have a whole conversation, and he's like, please do not do anything else to put yourself in harm's way. Like, please do not. And they have a really like sweet conversation, and he basically says like, listen, I'm gonna find you in every life after this. Like, my ghost will always find you. I'll be waiting for you in the meadows.
Bitch, I'm haunting your ass.
No, he's like, I will be there. Please don't ever like sit here and wait for me forever. Like, I will be waiting for you in the meadows, like, for the rest of my life. And she says the same thing, and then they hang up, and it's oh, it's so sweet.
The vibes were getting a little too somber for me.
It was very somber. I know. I definitely stopped reading after that too. I had to close the book and put it away. I know. But it was very sweet and heartbreaking at the same time. Like, it was definitely it hurt to read it. So then he turns to Plutarch and he's like, what gives? Like, where do you stand? What is this? And he's like, listen, I had to make you trust me somehow, because if you're gonna help us blow up this arena, you have to trust me. And he's like, what do you know about it? So he's sitting there like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Plutarch is like, okay. Anyways, so this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna go down into that mutt entrance. You're gonna climb down there.
And you're gonna find the mutt entrance because there's little flower bushes outside the mutt entrance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then you're gonna go down there. You're gonna stick your little sunflower bomb thing, necklace thing onto the side of the water tank. You're gonna run. And then he's doing all this, and Haymitch is like, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. He's like, okay, girl. Anyway, he keeps being like, I literally don't know what you're talking about. Because he's like, I don't know if I can trust this man. And Plutarch is like, you know what? You're being smart. But anyway, I'm going to keep talking because you need to know the plan. But after a while, he's like, I guess I should trust him since he did get me on the phone with my girl. So after that, they go and do a little photo shoot for like their district pics or whatever. Like, the way they're treating this like a reality TV show, like, so heavy.
I know. I was like, what photo shoot are we talking about?
No, they literally have a whole photo shoot, and because they're like, the photos we took of you guys last time were not that cute because you weren't wearing your cute costumes. Now you're wearing cute outfits, so let's retake your photos.
But why are they taking photos?
Yeah.
Photos for what?
Just
People magazine?
It's giving, yeah. It's also, I think, the pictures they use, like, when they show their picture in the sky, like, if their cannon goes off, which is awful. Yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah. So,
anyways, it's time. It's time
for the games. It's time for the games now.
The arena is suspiciously not somber.
Suspiciously! Mind you!
He's like, he gets there, he's like, what the fuck? There's apple trees and bunnies hopping around. And it almost smells sweet in here. What's going on?
No, they come up in their tubes and they're all like, all of them are like, what is going on? If
I were Wyrus, I'd be kind of mad. I'd be like, really? I got the mirrors and you guys get this?
No, like, no, seriously, like, what the fuck? I was in a fun house and you guys get this? Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
And
guess it's just fuck me then.
Yeah, I also want to mention that it also really broke my heart that the four of them hugged right before they went in the arena. Like, that really made me sad. Oh my god. But they are sitting there and he's trying to figure out what the fuck to do. And good thing he got his wits about him quickly because he was like the first one off the mark.
Yeah, he gets a pack from the cornucopia. Yeah. And he dips.
Out.
He said goodbye.
And on his way out, he turns over and he's like, people haven't even left their little podium yet. I was quick. They were ready for the gong. He was auditor. He left. And he's like 2 miles out before he even starts to hear like the cannons go off. Like after he's already left.
Like, sorry to interrupt, but I feel like my brain cannot comprehend. They talk about it in the book too, where it's like, it's 6 miles away. Like, we can't walk that far. And I'm like, 6 miles?
Yeah.
I've never walked 6 miles in my life. 6 miles?
It's also like, where are they building these?
Yeah.
Building these enormous,
huge,
like, arenas? Because by Katniss's time, there are 74 of these hoes around the USA. Like, where are these? They're this big?
I don't know.
Because they're not reusing the same one every time. They keep them there so that people can take tours of them. So, like, which is disgusting, but like, so where are they building these? Anyway.
Yeah.
But he books it.
But it's suspicious that the vibes in there are not somber. Because he goes to get a drink of water from a stream. Girl, a bunny sips from the same stream. He's like, oh, cute, bunny.
Yeah.
Bunny dies immediately. He's like, oh, I see.
He says, wait, but I also do have a tummy ache, so what's going on?
Right, because the stream was made of poison. It was a poison stream, babe.
Yeah, like, how did you not know that, babe? Mind you, like, earlier he opened his backpack and he found all this food and shit in it, and he was like, how dare they fill my backpack with food when there's food everywhere?
And then he's like, okay, so the stream is poison, the apples are probably poison too.
Yeah.
And he feeds a little piece of apple to a bunny, and he's like, well, he didn't die, so.
Yeah. He also, like, saw that there was, anti-poisonous tablets in his backpack, so he, like,
a little piece of charcoal.
he pulls trig, and then he starts downing these, tablets to help him, like, you know, get better. And then he finds, like, a big bushel, and he hides in there for as long as he possibly can. Poor Haymitch.
And then Luella, later that night, Luella finds him, and she's repeating over and over again, find Haymitch, find Haymitch. And then I think it's so cute, she grabs my leg and says, found him.
I know.
So cute.
She's so cute.
And then he gets out of his little bush that he's hiding in. He was like, I slayed that hiding spot. Like, that was so slay. Like, nobody was gonna be able to find me. And he's like, oh shit, I left my handkerchief outside of this.
No, like, he's like, my dumb ass thought I was so hidden. I come out of here and I've broken literally every branch on the way in and also left my hanky. Like, literally, like, here I am. He's like, thank God a career didn't find me. Like, my ass would've got.
Yeah. Quickly.
Yeah. But what I was saying earlier was that Plutarch told him that, like, the sun in the arena is the same as the sun on the outside. Mm-hmm. So, he can follow it.
That gives you some sense of direction.
So he's like, you want to go north, because that's where the water tank's going to be. That's why he books it towards the forest, where he is now, where he meets Luella. And Lulu, right? They call her Lulu now as this new girl from District 11. And then everyone else has actually headed in the opposite direction, where there's, like, the snow-capped mountain.
I don't know why the fuck you would ever go for a mountain over a forest. I'm taking the forest every chance I get.
A snow-capped mountain at that.
I'm not climbing a damn mountain.
No,
mountains are so scary.
Yeah, I'm not climbing a snow-capped mountain at that. Like, honestly, I don't know how to ski.
If I ever met somebody that climbed Mount Everest, I'd be like, you're just stupid and you care way too much about attention.
Whoa!
Why would you ever want to do that? Like, what?
Yeah, like... You care way too much about attention. That's crazy. Us as we're filming a podcast.
Us as I started this video by saying I need to be Tana Mojo by tomorrow.
Right, like...
Hey, this is
good to be
easier
self-aware
than climbing Everest.
Yeah. But...
Anyways,
yeah.
They're just kind of bestie vibes for him and Lulu are just kind of bestie vibes. They're just kind of hanging out. He's like, damn, this bitch is eating all my fucking apples because she keeps trying to eat the poison apples off the trees because she's fucking starving.
No, she's starving, and also, like,
he's
like, I can't, she's not gonna understand that things are poisonous, so I have to keep her busy. She can't stop eating all the food that we have. Also, should mention that the first night, like, 20-something cannons go off. Like, so many people passed the first day at the bloodbath, including Wyatt, which is really sad. And he also is like, I know damn well that he definitely died trying to protect Lulu, which makes me really sad, because they had, like, kind of a, you could tell that they immediately had, like, a connection, and he was really, like, protective over her, which it made me really sad. And, like, it was sweet to see how protective he was of her, even though he had no idea who she was, but, like, I don't know, just made me sad. But that same day, as him and Lulu are walking around, like, they make a fire, they, like, eat some potatoes, and as she's walking around, she's, like, skipping whatever, like, she's having a good time. Like, I don't think she really understands what's going on.
She does not know she's alive.
No, like, she has no clue what's happening.
She's a 17-year-old chihuahua that has one tooth.
No, like, she has no clue what's going on. She's skipping around, and she basically is, like, she's, like, a thing of flowers, and she puts her face right in it and starts smelling them. She's like,
the love. Smell so good.
And they're flowers from District 11. So
and he's just watching her, and she immediately dies.
Yeah.
Those flowers are poisonous immediately.
Yeah. She, like, blood coming out of her,
like, okay,
every orifice, and he's just like, what the fuck? And he tries all he can do, but it's like, she's immediately dying, and he knows that the game makers can, like, through the chip and the pump that she has, they're controlling her with, could absolutely end her suffering, and they don't. And he, like, freaks out and just pulls the plug on her, or, like, pulls her pump out, as he should. He tries to also, like, stop the game makers from finding her, and tries to, like, put her in, like, a patch of, like, trees where they can't reach her, but they then send some mutts after him, these, like, poisonous butterflies that are, like, stinging him. He has to, like, start running. It's, like, a whole thing. But in that moment, he also remembers, like, I need to follow them.
Yeah.
Because if I follow them, then I can find an entrance to that thing to go to the water the water tank underneath the arena. So he's like, oh, okay, let me follow them.
Let me walk in.
I have to walk in. So he starts following them as they're like leaving, and he finds the like I forgot what they call it, but basically that bushel of flowers where they go back in, and he puts on a whole performance of him trying to like attack them, but in theory he's trying to like create an opening so that he can open the thing later.
Go back in there later.
Yeah, and he manages to like create a crack in it. He's like, oh, thank God. And then after he does that, he's like, oh my God, Lulu. He like finally like has a moment to be like, oh my God. Like it seems like every like you know,
there's an op at every corner.
There's an op at every corner. Every like small docile child that comes in my presence like is having like an awful death. Like this, it's just awful. Like it was so hard. I can't believe that. She like a day they spent together, a couple hours even. It's just terrible. So he
does get his first sponsor gift here,
yeah.
which is, I just thought it was cute. I'm just gonna mention it really quickly.
Go for it.
It's just bread and grape juice and cheese, and he's like, thank fucking God.
Yeah, yeah. And he does this whole little like, thank you so much, Capital sponsors.
I love the Capitol and I love President. I love the Capitol and I love President.
Please don't.
Snow.
Please don't. Please.
Every man you hate can do an impression of Trump. Fact check me on that. Then he meets up with Amper and he's like, okay, Queen, it's time to enact the plan.
Oh yeah, Amper fights him.
Amper, so they kind of enact this plan. I was a little confused by what happened because he does blow up the tank and the arena glitches a little bit, but other than that, like, nothing really happens, except Amper does get devoured and eaten by squirrels really badly. And I'd like to I want to move on because it was a gruesome death.
I cried.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I cried. Yeah, it seems
and then
like...
as punishment for as if the squirrels weren't enough, there's a volcano too, by the way. Now the whole arena's on fire and covered in ash.
Yeah, like I was listening to this part of the book, and when I tell you I kept going back because I was getting so confused about what was going on with the water tank, like I think I have to go back and read that part.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
But
I guess like it might, maybe it just caused like a leak or something.
Yeah.
Which caused like certain parts of the arena to short circuit, but we know that they always have a backup plan.
Yeah, and basically he realized in that moment like, oh, it just did not do at all what we thought it was gonna do.
That was like sad when they were talking about this plan, and it reminded me of when PETA was like, if it weren't for the baby.
Yeah, and then it did nothing.
And then it did nothing, as I was like, everybody has to die. Like, and same with Lucy Gray and the Snakes, is that it's like, they would rather all of you die than not have Hunger Games. Yeah. Like, it doesn't even matter.
They're gonna figure out a way.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
They would rather drop a bomb on this whole arena.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so sad to just see him keep trying and being so hard on himself that he couldn't. And I was like, it doesn't even matter, dude.
Yeah, but like, how is he supposed to know? He's 16 and he thinks that he's gonna do this whole thing. And they've been planning it for so long and talking about it for so long and to see nothing come of it, it's like...
Yeah. Well, and Plutarch is in on it, so if
he... Yeah, he comes out from underneath and the squirrels are attacking Ampert, and they're like programmed to only attack Ampert. Like they had hit out on him. It's just awful, and I actually can't even talk about it. We're just gonna move on.
Yeah. Haymitch just runs back into the forest. He's starting to go a little cuckoo bananas at this point because he's like, I cannot find the fuck out of this forest. I should have gone on the Snowcap Mountain with the skis with everybody else. Because now I can't figure out how to get the fuck out.
No, he's like,
I need something.
No, he's like, I should have gone there because I heard there's a fucking nice ski lodge over there too. And I know they have hot cocoa. And I really need hot cocoa right now.
And so he follows a bunny out of the forest, and he's like, oh, finally, I'm out of the forest. Immediately gets ambushed by the careers. Panache. What the fuck is his name? Ganache. Panache. His name is Panache.
Ganache!
His name is Panache.
Yeah.
Panache. Panache tries to kill him, and Maisley's like,
no, baby, wrong. No.
She kills him with an arrow.
Or a blow dart? What is that?
I don't know.
What is a blow dart? Is that one of those things that you go...
Yeah.
And then okay.
I mean, it must be. I don't know why I said yeah so confidently. I don't know. I was picturing a bow and arrow. I'm learning for the first time that that's not what it was.
Oh, no. It was a blow dart, and I think it's one of those things that you blow and it sends like a thing, but I can't be sure. Maybe I should do my research, mama. But anyway. And yeah, she basically helps save his ass, and then she's like, hey, queen. And he's like, hey. And she's like, so do you want to be allies? Because otherwise I can take your ass out right here. And he's like, yeah, okay, yeah. So they, align themselves again. And they
they're kind of trying to decide what to do next because they know that they want to meet up with the rest of the newcomers. But again, this arena must be like 10 miles long. No, plus a mountain and hot cocoa in the lodge.
It's huge.
Like, so they're like, we don't know where to go. And but Haymitch is like, well, we need to go that way.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, the reason why he didn't stick with them in the first place was because he had this plan.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't want everybody else to get punished because of it.
Yeah. And so that's he basically told them, like, they're already targeting me. They gave me a 1. Clearly they're out to get my ass. I don't want you guys to, like, fall into danger because of me. Like, I'm just gonna go it alone, but I won't ever, like, harm any of you guys. And so she's like, but at this point, like, let's just go back and meet them. And he's like, no, but, like, let's just go to see what's up north. And she's like, why though?
Yeah, like, she knows that something's up, but so finally she's just like, he's like, we're going north. And she's like, okay.
Fuck, fine.
Yeah, but then they're attacked by ladybugs.
Yeah.
Which nothing comes of this.
Yeah.
Like, they're just attacked by them.
Yeah, then they got to go and, like, peel them off each other.
Yeah.
They literally have to, like, strip down and, like, peel them off and, like, nightmare. I can't. Oh my god. Yeah, attacked by bugs is my nightmare.
Yeah, but after the ladybugs, they hear 2 newcomers getting attacked by, because at this point, I think all the career boys are gone. It's just the girls left.
Yeah.
So Maisley's like, yeah, we gotta go help them, King. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So they go, and they see them getting attacked by this giant, like, porcupine mutt thing.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they're dead. They're dead for show.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cute because Haymitch tries to, like, lure the porcupine out because he's just like, let me just see if it likes treats.
Yeah.
And so he's, like, throwing olives into the forest.
Yeah.
And the porcupine's fat ass is trotting along.
He's like, wait, I do like treats. He said, ooh, what's that?
And he even tries to give them some of the antidote that he has, which is crazy. Like, girl, you need that for yourself.
Yeah. No, and that's another reason why he tries to, like, go off on his own, because he's like, I know that, like, I can't go through with the plan if I'm around the other newcomers, because I will do everything in my power to help them and save them if given the chance, and, like, I have to do this thing to the arena. So he just, it's hard. Also, yeah, I can't.
But at this point, Maisley is like, okay, one of us has to win.
Yeah.
And one of us has to terrorize the capital for the rest of our God-given lives.
Yeah. One of us.
I don't care which one.
If it's not you, it gotta be me. If it's not me, it gotta be you. And he's like, okay. Yeah, for sure. They're thinking about where Welly is. So she's one of the 4 tributes from District 9 or 6. Can't remember. But he's one of the 4 that he calls his little doves because they have those little gray outfits on when he first met them, which I thought was so cute that he calls them their little doves. And he's, like, thinking about where they could meet up with her because I think she's, like, maybe the last of the newcomers that is still alive.
Yeah, because Silka and Mariette, while they're trying to decide what they want to do, Silka and Mariette ambush them. And while they're running away, they run into some game makers who are just, like, tidying up. I don't know what they're doing.
Bro, they're, like, just... Like,
they're mopping the forest? What are they mopping?
What are you doing?
What are they mopping?
Ariana, what are you doing here?
What are they mopping?
Literally, Ariana, what are you doing here?
Well, that's what Maisley said.
No, she says that to them, and they're like, Boots, I would worry about what you got going on. And she's like, no, Boots, I would worry about what you got going on.
Yeah, they have some nerve. They're like, there will be consequences if you don't go away. And they said... What consequences? And they kill all 3 of the game makers. Mariette and Maisley each kill 1. Yeah. And in retaliation, they get their own personal mutts and they're killed immediately. But Maisley, after she does this, she's like, hey Mitch, why the fuck didn't you kill one of them? And he's like, I
don't know, actually.
Has he killed anyone at this point?
Yes. He killed 2 of the people who were with Panache.
Oh, okay.
When he gets attacked by Panache, there are 2 other tributes, and those are his first 2 kills. And he, after the fact, he's like, oh my fucking god, I just killed someone.
Yeah, Maisley's like, why the fuck didn't you kill them? And he's like,
He literally is like, I don't fucking know, honestly. Like, he was just like so... He has like a whole internal dialogue where he's like...
He was like, I was really focused on what they were mopping.
I mean, he's literally in his internal monologue, he's like, I don't know if it was, I was like really like... I saw the white outfit, the Peacekeeper outfit, and I was like... too stunned and like afraid of authority to do anything, or if I was thinking about my brother or what was going on, but I was just like, my fight or flight kicked in and I literally was like frozen, like he couldn't do anything. And he feels like super guilty about it.
Well, I mean...
And then Maisley literally gets attacked like immediately by a mutt.
And he doesn't see it, but Mariette, he assumes, did as well.
Yeah. Really, really sad. R.I.P. to that legend.
But after, right before Maisley gets attacked, he finds out there's a force field in the arena. So basically when you get to the end, if you like throw a rock against it, it'll basically bounce back.
Yeah.
This will become important later.
Yes.
So at this point, there's only 4 tributes left. And so Haymitch is like, okay, I'm going to go find Welly. And, you know, if I die, at least like I can have Welly live. And also that way I won't have to live with the trauma of the Hunger Games. I can save her life. Boomski. And then she can terrorize the capital for the rest of her God-given life.
Yeah.
Period. So he finds her in a tree, and she's apparently just been sitting there.
Yeah.
That's what it seems, is that she's just been sitting there the whole Hunger Games. She's starving. She can barely move. And Haymitch is like, okay, I have some food. Eat this food, Bessie. Yeah. And so they sit in a tree and just be sad for a little while. And then Silka eventually appears at the bottom of the tree, just like sobbing. And so Haymitch gives her some chocolate. Yeah, it was sweet. Chocolate that he gets a chocolate from a sponsor gift.
He's such a sweetheart, which like really, really breaks you. Oh God.
But while he's up in the tree, he's like, wait a minute, this sunflower that I have from Maisley, why is this is an explosive? Boomski, I'm blowing this bitch up.
Yeah. He said, boom.
He said, okay. And
I gotta do what I gotta do.
So he's like, okay, period. I'm gonna go bomb the cornucopia. Welly, you stay here. You're not gonna be near the bomb.
Right. Okay? He said, I'm about to hit a boomski. Like, I have to. I'm sorry.
But Welly's like, I cannot be left alone anymore. Actually, this has been awful. And he's like, no, I think you should stay. And she doesn't listen. And she comes down the tree and just sits at the bottom of the tree. And he's like, okay, you have 1 poison dart left from Maisley's stash. Make it count. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Actually, I won't be back because I'm gonna go bomb the arena. But
yeah.
Don't worry. I'm gonna go bomb the arena and everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Silka legit decapitates her. No. And Haymitch is looking at Silka and he's like, what? Why did you do that? And she was like, she attacked me. And he was like, and you're about to die.
No, literally.
He was like, okay, I actually don't feel bad about this one at all. And Silka is like, I'm gonna be the one to honor the capital. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, you've lost me.
No.
He's like, officially lost me.
Silka, you lost the plot. You never had the plot, clearly.
Yeah,
honor the capital, babe.
I don't know if this is actually a line in the book, but I will say that but I think an important line in Songbirds and Snakes is when Coral, I think her name is, the redhead.
Yes.
When she's like, I can't have killed them all for nothing.
Yes.
Silka, you've lost the plot, girl.
Yeah, that was your time to have your Coral moment, and you didn't have it. You never had the plot.
And he's like, okay.
And I gave you chocolate, girl.
Yeah, and he's like, the chocolate is literally still on your face, and you fucking decapitated her. Okay. So they have...
It's a 1.
They have...
Like, are you kidding? I don't feel bad about this at all.
Yeah, they have a lengthy fight scene, which ends because she throws an axe at him, and it hits the force field and bounces back. And it's like it happens in slow motion, because in his head he's like, damn, I had done that.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, as he's bending over, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it hits her in the face, and the axe obviously boomerangs back and hits her in the face, and she dies. And he's like, well, what now? I'm gonna bomb the arena. And he's like, and perfect, Boomski, I'll be dead.
Yeah, he said, great, I don't even want to keep living after what has just happened to me. Yeah. So, let's blow this bitch up.
I'm blowing this bitch up.
Yeah.
I'm about to hit a Boomski.
Yeah.
And while he's about to blow this bitch up, a game maker is yelling over the speakers, Haymitch, stop, you don't know what you're doing. And he's like, I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. I'm blowing this bitch up.
Yeah. Literally, like, what?
And he's like, at the chapter ends, he's like, damn, life is good. I can die happy.
Yeah. No.
As we know, he doesn't die, obviously, because nothing's ever easy for anyone. No. He wakes up, and he's basically being tortured in a hospital. Yeah. There's, Avoxes?
Yeah.
Avox is watching him through a window, and he's hooked up to a bunch of, like, IV needles and stuff like that, and he doesn't know what's going on, and nobody will tell him what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's going in and out of consciousness, and there's also a snake. There's also a bunny locked in a box next to him that keeps getting eaten by a snake over and over and over again.
Like, what? What? Why?
I was so confused. I was like, why are there people, he says they're dirty, unclothed, and, like, pawing at the window. Why are they there? Just to be scary? Just to be menacing?
I don't know. I wonder if that was just, like, him, like, being so drugged up and, like, or maybe they, like, have it, they were trying to, like, scare him. Like, that's just in his head. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because he's being tortured.
I don't know. Was the bunny there? Was the bunny real?
I wonder.
Like the bunny was real.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. What is this metaphor? We need some English lit majors to get in the
comments. Help. I don't know.
Oh, God. Go ahead. Keep going.
But eventually he does come to, and they take him to the apartment where they don't torture him, but I mean, I do think it is a certain kind of torture. He can't leave. There's nobody else there. There's cameras on him all the time, and on the TV, all he can watch is previous Hunger Games. A different kind of torture, but torture nonetheless. And he's just in the kitchen, fucking up some rolls, fucking up the milk. He's like, I'm not even hungry, but I can't stop eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally Effie shows up, and she's like, hey, it's time for your victory tour, or your victory interview, or whatever.
Are you kidding me?
And so she's like, okay, time to cuntify you. And then she does, and then he goes on his little interview. While he's being interviewed by Caesar, they're showing him a replay of the games, and he's like, that's not what happened at all. They cut so much of what happened to me, and also the deaths aren't even in the right order, and obviously there's no bombing.
Yeah. Everything is just not as it seems. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? He's like, I thought this shit was live. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then he's like, but wait, didn't they show the deaths in the sky at the end of every day? No? Okay, well... Okay.
He's just like the disillusionment is just happening in real time, and the same thing happened at the reaping when the thing happened with the kid who was originally reaped, and they stopped everything and said, "Oh, we gotta re-reap someone else, so let's reset and clean up, and we'll try again." And he's like, "The fuck?
I thought this was live.
Yeah. So it's like disillusionment is just like everything is like what the fuck. Goddamn.
He also has to go on kind of like a mini victory tour. It sounds like he just kind of goes to a handful of parties around the Capitol where he's literally locked in a cage and people are coming up and taking photos with him. And he was like, I'm just trying to serve cunt all the photos because I just wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fair enough.
He's like, I'm just trying to do this and go home. I do my work and I go home.
Yeah.
So he was
like, if serving cunt is what I have to do, then yeah, I'm going to pose for the photos and act like the little rascal that they all want me to be.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. But of course it doesn't. He has one little chat with Snow before he leaves. He's like, look, I'm serving cunt. Please don't kill me.
Yeah, he's like, hey, okay, sorry. I told you I'm sorry.
I won't do it again.
Yeah.
I promise I won't do it again.
I promise I won't blow anything up anymore. I'm sorry I tried to blow up the lodge, but I didn't get any hot cocoa.
You too would blow up the lodge. But all Snow is just like, well, happy homecoming. Good luck, bestie. Hey, Mitch is like, huh?
Okay.
What do you mean by that? Wait, no, wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
And
Answer
so
quickly.
Like,
answer quickly, please.
No, and Snow, of course, doesn't. But literally the second he steps foot into 12, he's like, oh, my house is being burned down. Oh, my mom and brother are being burned alive. Okay, that's fine, okay. What about Wyatt's dad? Oh, he killed himself. Oh, okay. That's fine. What about Lenora Dove? Okay. So I gave her these little gummies. They're delicious. Oh, they were poisonous. So what now? So what now is he goes to Victor's village and just drinks away his days and is miserable, and his friends try to come check on him and try to tell him that they love him, and he's like, no, actually, I'd rather never have any human contact ever again because apparently I can't protect anybody, and I don't want to form these close relationships with people just for them to die, actually, so...
Like, the last, 100 pages of this book were
just
so...
boomski after boomski after boomski after boomski.
It was...
After boomski.
It was literally, it was a quadrillion homicide, literally. Like, it was dagger to the heart after dagger to the heart. It was awful. It was dark. It was upsetting. Like, especially, again, knowing who Haymitch is in the original series, and when you start this book and you're like, this does not feel like the Haymitch we know. Like, this is a kid who is really happy, in love. He has a mother, he has a brother. Who are these, like, what is this? To see what happens to him and, like, how all of this concludes, of course, he becomes a recluse and drinks himself away and pushes everyone away. Why? How would you not? Like, that is...
And then, of course, the two people he gets closest to are put right back into the arena right after, again.
Yeah. It is so, so devastating. So devastating. My God. So...
And then the epilogue is, I think, a very inspiring message.
Yeah.
Is that she was, I think, Suzanne Collins is talking to us a little bit. Haymitch's message to us at the end here is kind of like, the revolution, I was a part of it, but it took forever for us to finally get what we wanted. And it just happened to be somebody that had better luck and timing than I did.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you should give up after your first try.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And also they're all living out in 12 at this point, and he's like, I have a little flock of geese.
Yeah.
That I care for.
Yeah. It's like post, obviously, Mockingjay, the epilogue, and he's like telling Peeta and Katniss about Lenore Dove, and they give him geese eggs, and he's like, her spirit gets to live on with me, and he's kind of able to like open that part of his heart up again and like relive that story a little bit finally, and it definitely has an inspiring message for sure, but it's also very bittersweet at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it was just a really heartbreaking read.
Final thoughts.
I mean, my rating is obviously a 5 out of 5.
I think she could write poo-poo, pee-pee, poo-poo. Poo-poo and pee-pee.
She could write me an instruction manual and I would read it. Like, genuinely, she's written, like, the best. These have always been my favorite books. They will continue to be my favorite books.
I'm so glad that we're getting more of it.
Yeah.
I feel like, I hope she never stops having stuff to say. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I mean, it was an incredible book. It was heartbreaking, and but it said very, very important things. Even just the quotes that she used before the book even started were very important and poignant. I think even just for the situation that we are in currently today.
I was gonna say, I think I know who Suzanne Collins voted for.
So even just that, reading that before I even got into the first chapter was like so much inspiration about. Just so much inspiration, and the book itself so well written. Like, I don't have one bad thing to say, genuinely. And also just from like being such a lifelong fan, genuinely, like to just all the lore and all of like the getting all this extra story building and bringing all these characters in and getting to see all this backstory, like that in and of itself just was just so exciting as like as someone who's been a fan of these books for like so many years.
I do have a question for you. A lot of people were saying that this reads as fan fiction because because there were so many characters that we knew from the previous books. What do you think of that?
Huh. I didn't think of it that way.
I actually did at first. I was kind of like, when I saw Wyrus and Mags, I was kind of like, okay, you're losing me a little. But then I was like, well, let's do the math. If there's 48 kids there and there's, at this point, 49 victors.
Yeah.
It's not super shocking that Mags and Wyrus are making a reappearance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, also, frankly, yes, if you want to call it fan fiction, call it fan fiction. But like at the end of the day,
it was a good fan fiction.
If you're reading this 5th book in the series, if you're reading this prequel, you've already read the first 3 and you've read Songbirds and Snakes. The people who are reading this are people who've read the other 4. Then
I think this is my favorite Hunger Games book so far. I'm excited for the movie. I don't think any movie is going to... I don't know what it was about Songbirds and Snakes. I think I just really love Rachel Zegler. I mean, and Tom Blythe in the Long Meadow, of course. But really, I think Rachel Zegler is just such an amazing talent.
I love her,
and the movie was so beautiful, and the freaking score was so good! So we'll have to see how the movie holds up.
I'm very excited to see the movie. Oh my god. I will lose my damn mind. But yeah, I mean, Catching Fire was always my favorite book, favorite movie of all of them. It's
a heavy hitter.
This is a heavy hitter. Like this might be 1-to-1.
It's up there for show.
For show. Like these might be equivalently amazing. Like this was an incredible book. Probably one of my favorite books I've read as an adult in the past several years. Like genuinely. So
Yeah, these don't feel like kids' books either.
No.
Especially this one. This one is for the adults.
No, so I'm saying, like, if you're reading this, then you are someone who's been a fan since you were a kid. So it's like, if you want to call it fan fiction, then you're probably someone who's, like, just picked this up because you saw it on the New York Times and they were like, you should read this book, it's good. You know what I mean? But it's like, most people who are reading this have been waiting for this. You know what I mean? So for me, it was exciting to see all of those characters come back in. Your thoughts?
It was a 5-star book. I liked it. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
All right.
I think I've talked enough for today.
Yeah. So if you loved this, please give us a thumbs up.
Please subscribe.
Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment saying how much you love us.
Bye.